Good evening, and welcome. We are so glad to have a house full of Bobcats. It is wonderful to have all of you all here to join us this evening for our July City Council meeting. We have a lot of good things to talk about tonight, including a lot of successes that we experienced this past spring, so we're really excited about that. We like to begin our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance, so I'll ask Gary Harris if he'll come forward and lead us in the pledge. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. And at this time, if you will join us in a moment of silence where you can reflect on the meeting, you can prepare for the proceedings that are about to occur, or you can use that time for silent prayer. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. At this time, council members, you have the minutes from our June 10th regular meeting. Are there any adjustments to those minutes, or do we have a motion to approve as submitted? We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. At this time, we will open the floor for citizen comments on public matters. When we do that, we ask that you come down to the podium and use the microphone, state your name for the record, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Are we going to try to track it up here, or I got my little timer too? And at this time, we'll open the floor for citizen comments if anybody's going to join us. You know, come on up to the mic if you want to. That's fine. Whatever. Just make sure it's a comment that's appropriate for the crowd, right? Seeing no one making a mad dash for the podium, we will close this portion of the meeting and move ahead. Now, we're very fortunate to have some new members of our police department team. So this time I'll ask our chief to come forward and present some new employees to the police department, which includes 4 new dispatchers and 4 new police officers. So Chief Holdaway, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. I know it's been a busy night, and I just want to take a few minutes of your time. The thing that, I always talk about investing in our own people. While he was working there at dispatch center, work at night, go to school during the day. Also have Lucas Nestor with us. Lucas, you guys probably know Lucas too. He's a lot of cases and had a lot of opportunity with. But the thing most about Lucas is guys are not new to the profession, but certainly the Radford.
Outstanding. Welcome. We are so glad to have you be part of the Radford family.
Yes.
Thank you all so much. Now, there's more good news. Chief, you might as well just stay back up here. The Radford Police Department has been recognized by the FBI for its training efforts. The entire command staff have completed the Law Enforcement Executive Development Association, known as LEDA, Leadership Training Series, developed to advance the skills of their employees serving in supervisory, command, and executive roles in law enforcement. This has been something that we have hoped would happen for quite a long time. This is a wonderful achievement. And the FBI LEDA Executive Director, Jacques Baptiste, is here, and he's going to present the award. So, Chief, the floor is yours if you have anything else you want to add to this, and you can come on down, sir.
I just certainly add, this just the national grant. This has been several years in the making, a lot of hard work by a lot of men and women to get us here.
unselfishly made the determination that they are going to provide you with top-tier response. Not only their command staff, but their entire department. That is the distinguishable part that you need to recognize. A lot of work that goes to get this award, sacrifice and a lot of energy, not just from the officers, but from their families. The FBI Trilogy Leadership Series consists of 3 of our flagship courses: supervisor leadership, command leadership, and executive leadership. This case means all members of the Radford Police Department command staff. Radford Police Department, and you should take one of only 7 police departments in the Commonwealth of Virginia. This award started in 2018. Inception, there have only pride that you should have for your department after tonight. So with that being said, we are pleased to present the Radford Police Department staff, all of the officers in the city of Radford, the FBI Leader Trilogy. So because the microphone wasn't on, I'm going to do the whole thing over again, okay? All right. So hopefully you heard what I said, but I want to go ahead and bestow this award to Chief Holdaway. It says Agency Trilogy Award in recognition of Radford Police Department for dedication to law enforcement leadership as demonstrated by all command staff completing the FBI Leader Trilogy series, awarded this day by our president, past president, excuse me now, Donna McNamara, the FBI Leader Trilogy.
Thank you, sir.
Wait, Chief, I have a question. Thank you. Yes, yes, I'm his wife. I'm the better part. I'm the better half. Just out of curiosity, in layman's terms, what are the skill sets that will be enhanced by this training?
Well, and he kind of touched on it. There's 3 separate areas, but there's the DISC model of personality assessment where you actually have, a better understanding of what your employees need as supervisors. There's a lot of theory-based. It is not your typical law enforcement supervision school. It is so much more beyond anything that I've ever been a part of, and I'm certainly proud that we've got this award and could not encourage our guys to continue to attend this training.
Yes, please.
Chief summed it up perfectly. What you need to understand is those 3-level courses are not just designed for chiefs, middle management, and lower management. He's required to attend all of them. Every officer attends those that are a part of the command staff. And what sets this apart as distinctive is the fact that they also embrace cultural diversity and inclusion. They also learn how to be better guardians as opposed to warriors. But they, more importantly, are understanding better leadership skill sets, which are going to bring about a complete metamorphosis of these young officers like who you have tonight who have started with you. So expect even greater things from them, okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much. And just to sum up a little bit, if Mr. Batiste was not able to be heard by everyone, only 7 agencies in the Commonwealth of Virginia have received this distinction, and since the award was created in 2018, only 146 across the nation. That is incredible, and I think deserving of another round of applause for our Radford Police. Thank you so much. We are so appreciative. And, Chief Holdaway and to all of our police team, thank you so much. We know this is above and beyond, and this is the way to move us forward as a community. So we are so appreciative of everything that has occurred. It's an exciting evening where we get to celebrate so many of the good things here in the city of Radford. And one of those, the very best things about the city of Radford are Radford City Public Schools, all the students and faculty and staff that make up that wonderful organization. And they are a great partner between this city agencies and the school system. And we are so appreciative of everyone. Beginning last January, we decided it would make a lot of sense to recognize all of the state-level accomplishments that our students have had. So it's definitely all of our sports who have state recognition, but also all those other organizations who are able to achieve at an exceptionally high level. We think it's important to recognize all that work because of all the hard work you put in it. The least we can do is celebrate you with that, but also to let this entire community and the region know the outstanding excellence that our Bobcats pursue every single day, regardless of their interest, regardless of their passion. And so this time I'll ask our superintendent, Dr. Joyce, if he'd like to come up and say a few words. Greg Wade, our athletic director, is here as well. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. Mayor, City Council, we want to thank you for recognizing us. When I came in here this evening, I thought how nice it was going to be to recognize these Bobcats. And then I thought, as a civics teacher, I thought, well, what a neat little civics lesson we have here with a little city government going on here and some, real life lessons. And then I already knew that the SROs were top notch, world famous for Radford City. Then I hear this award that they're getting from the FBI, and I just thought, what a great night. But for Radford City Public Schools, I'd like to say thank you again for recognizing these guys. They do great work in the classroom. They do great work on the field and on the court. We have a lot to be proud of. I hope you've been by to see the new stadium seating. We're getting HVAC in the gym. The gym's going to get a new floor. I could go on, but I don't want to waste any more of your time. I just want to say thank you for recognizing us. We appreciate it very much, and I'm looking forward to these folks getting the recognition that they deserve.
Thank you, Dr. Joyce.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Wade, our athletic director, he's going to correct anything that I have sent you that was wrong. So I'll turn the floor over to Mr. Wade. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We really thank you all for having us here tonight. It's a pleasure to not only come and be recognized by City Council, but also I was sitting back there, and I guess I have been here maybe too long because of this wonderful table here. I taught 3 in social studies and coached one and one's husband in sports. So it's a blessing in that fashion on that. But these young men and young ladies are just as important and as good as what you guys were when you were in school. And it's great that you all can honor them, and we really appreciate it. Thank you for honoring our school.
We want to say thank you for all the hard work you and all of our coaching staff and the entire team of people that goes behind supporting these students in their efforts. So thank you so much for all your hard work. So on to the fun festivities. Let's begin with Mr. Davis and tennis. Tennis has had an outstanding year, and Bobby has some great information for us on our tennis teams.
Oh, yeah. I have a last-minute announcement, and I want to read this first. Girls Timeland Tennis. Lydia Pratt, Clara Fender were selected all timelands for girls tennis. The boys Timelands Tennis. Mason Murphy was selected at all timelands for boys tennis. Suzanne Graham, John Ferguson were selected as co-head coaches of the year for all the timeland in boys tennis. And I'll proceed to the proclamation. City of Radford proclamation, Radford High School tennis. Whereas Radford High School has long enjoyed great success in boys and tennis and girls tennis throughout the years. And whereas the Radford High School tennis team members and coaches continue to work diligently to compete and improve. And whereas in 2024, the Radford High School boys tennis placed second in the 2A state championship. And whereas in 2024, the Radford High School girls tennis team lost in the 2A state semifinals. And whereas the double team of Lydia Pratt, Clara Fender won the 2A girls championship. And whereas Lydia Pratt finished second in the individual 2A finals. Now, therefore, we, the City of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2024 Radford High School boys and girls tennis team members. and coaches for these distinguished accomplishments, making the city of Radford very proud. I'd like to make a recommendation that the city accepts the proclamation. Sorry.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Congratulations. Let's have any members of our tennis team to please come forward and see Mr. Davis down here in the front. Get real close like you like each other. There you go. And congratulations. We're so proud of all of you. So up next, we have wrestling, and I know Seth has a presentation. I'll just say I was a wrestler. I wasn't a very good one, but I know our wrestling program has grown by leaps and bounds and done amazing things. So Seth, take it away, please.
Sure. City of Radford Proclamation, Radford High School Wrestling. Whereas the Radford High School wrestling team had an outstanding season with one wrestler placing first and many others achieving high individual placements. And whereas the Radford High School wrestling team members showed incredible determination, flexibility, and persistence in practice and participating in competitions. And whereas many of our Bobcat wrestlers achieved an individual state championship honors, including Taven Williams, first place, 157-pound weight class. Dawson Martin, second place, 190-pound weight class. Charlie Davis, third place, 215-pound weight class. Lance Duncan, third place, 165-pound weight class. Cole Martin, fourth place, 175-pound weight class. Ricky Bailey, sixth place, 285-pound weight class. And Maggie Page, third place in the Girls Wrestling Open Tournament. And whereas the Radford High School girls wrestling team placed third overall, and whereas the no-quit mentality and stellar performance of these athletes over their wrestling career at Radford High School and is an example of exemplary athletics in Radford. Now, therefore, we, the City of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2024 Radford High School wrestling team members and coaches for these distinguished accomplishments in making the City of Radford very proud. Council, I'd like to make a motion to accept this proclamation.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? A motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Congratulations. Let's have our wrestlers come down front.
I even wore my heels today.
Congratulations. We're so proud of all of you. Now, in addition to sports, we know that we have students that have passions across the board, and our forensics team has been the pride of the New River Valley and the Commonwealth of Virginia for a number of years, and I'm so honored to have an opportunity to present this proclamation. Whereas the Radford High School forensics team members participated in the state competition and finished as the 2A runner-up with 4 first-place finishes, and whereas the Radford High School forensics team members showed incredible determination, flexibility, and persistence in preparing performances and participating in competitions, and whereas forensics is competitive acting and public speaking, It also serves to elevate and amplify student voices in our community. And whereas, in addition to the overall team success, individual members of the Radford High School forensics team achieved personal state championships in the areas of original oratory, Abby Napolitano, prose, Princeton Stevens, humorous interpretation, Allie Shepsey, and humorous duo, Colin Barron and James Reif. And whereas the ultimate goal of forensic events is to provide students with an opportunity to develop their confidence and their ability to communicate ideas and points of view. And whereas the Radford High School Forensics Program has worked hard for years to help students develop and succeed. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2024 Radford High School Forensics team members and coaches for this distinguished accomplishment of earning a runner-up finish in 2A Virginia State Championships in forensics, making the city of Radford very proud. Council members, I'd like to make a motion. We accept this proclamation. Do we have a second? Second. A motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Congratulations. Do we have some of our forensics folks with us this evening? That's very likely, but could we give them a big round of applause and say thank you for their hard work? I want you to know that many members of our forensics team, as we said, are participating in different governors' schools and programs and camps across the state, but continue to make us proud in all their activities. All right, we are going to move on with Mrs. Foster.
All right. City of Radford proclamation, Radford High School Swim and Dive. Whereas the Radford High School Swim and Dive team members participated in many events in 2024, including the state competition, and whereas the Radford High School Swim and Dive team members showed incredible determination, flexibility, and persistence in practice and participating in competitions. And whereas many of our Bobcat swim and dive team members achieved an individual state championship, including 200-meter individual medley, Trent Hollinsworth, 50-meter freestyle, Shelby Jones, girls diving, Jill Grimm, 100-meter backstroke, Evie Grimm, 100-meter breaststroke, Trent Hollinsworth, which was also a meet record, all-Timesland Girls Swimmer of the Year, Evie Grimm. And whereas the Radford High School Swim and Dive girls placed second overall and the boys placed third overall, and whereas the Radford High School Swim and Dive team program has worked hard for years to help students develop and succeed. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2024 Radford High School Swim and Dive team members and coaches for these distinguished accomplishments, making the City of Radford very proud. Mayor and Council, I would like to offer up this proclamation for approval.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. A motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Congratulations. These cats can swim. Come on down, swimmers and divers. To hear all the bling ringing as you come down with all the awards. That's wonderful. It sounds like a win. We want to get in real close so we can see everybody. I'll scoot over. Here we go.
Does everybody have a window? Yep.
That's fine. We're okay.
Add one very quick thing.
Please do.
So Trent Hollinsworth broke his own record for the 100 breaststroke, but we got to apply for the first time ever in the 18 years I've coached for All-American status. And unfortunately, we learned that he missed All-American status by 1/100th of a second.
Oh.
Wow.
So now we have goals for next year for a lot of different things.
But congratulations. We're so proud of all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I love that we have a wonderful partnership with the Aquatic Center in Christiansburg that gives our Bobcats a place to swim and a place to really prepare for this success. So we're so appreciative of that. Kelly, I believe the soccer teams are up next, and you have their presentation.
City of Radford proclamation, Radford High School boys and girls soccer. Whereas Radford High School has long enjoyed great success in boys and girls soccer throughout the years, and whereas the Radford High School boys and girls soccer team members and coaches continue to work diligently to compete and improve, and whereas in 2024, the Radford High School boys soccer team placed second in the 2A state championship, and whereas in 2024, the Radford High School girls soccer team lost in the 2A state semifinals, and whereas first team boys all-state recognitions go to Brody Schewel, Enzo Puglisi, Eli Goff, and Charlie Davis, and second team recognitions go to Robert Fox. And whereas Hollybrook Klein received first team all-star recognitions and second team all-state recognitions go to Kendall Carpenter and Lauren Owens. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of Radford, Virginia, do hereby offer the highest congratulations to the 2024 Radford High School boys and girls soccer team members and coaches for these distinguished accomplishments, making the City of Radford very proud. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for the proclamation.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And congratulations to our soccer players. Come on down. Congratulations. We're so proud of all of you. Joyce, I'm going to bring you the forensics one real quick.
I about said a bad word when I was saying that.
To all of our Bobcats, we say congratulations. We could not be more proud of you, not only on the athletic field with the co-curricular and extracurricular activities, but also in the classroom. You make us proud every day, and we are so pleased to have an opportunity to say thank you and to recognize you, to say thank you to all of your families, because this is a team effort, and it does take a whole group of folks. And could we have a round of applause from our Bobcats for their families? And to all the coaches and all the staff who work so hard to help support these students in their efforts. This is the future, and the future is bright in the city of Radford, and we're so proud of all of you. So thank you and congratulations once again. We will do this again in January because we know that from now until the end of the year, there's just going to be continued success after success after success with all of our different endeavors, and we're so appreciative of all of you. Thank you all very much. So at this time, we do need to conduct a public hearing. So we are moving forward with transferring the property known as the West Radford Commerce Park. And it's 80.7 acres of property adjacent to Bowling Street, which had previously been a foundry site known as the VCI property. And we purchased that a little over a year ago. We've been working diligently on this, and we are working with our Economic Development Authority to be able to transfer this property and to move forward with the marketing of the property to bring in new successes and new opportunities for Radford, the New River Valley, and the Commonwealth of Virginia. So as such, we will open the floor for our public hearing. Please come down to the microphone if you have any comments, questions, or anything you'd like to share. Please state your name for the record and be sure to use the microphone so we all can hear you. The public hearing has been duly advertised and is now opened. Had to move my chair a little bit. Seeing no one coming down, we will go on and close the public hearing portion of our meeting, but we will move on to old business, which is addressing Ordinance 1798, which is the actual transfer of property to the EDA. I want everyone to know that we have worked diligently on this. It took us 5 years to get to the point of actually being able to acquire the property a year ago. And then for the last year, staff and council have worked diligently to meet all the requirements of the Department of Environmental Quality and at the federal level, the EPA, to be sure they were okay with us moving this property from the city ownership to the ownership of our Economic Development Authority. This is a big part of our future for the city of Radford. We're looking at about half of the site that will likely be developable for economic purposes, whether that happens to be new jobs, which we're hoping we'll bring in, utilization of electricity and water purchases from the city, which will help us with revenue and all kinds of economic growth, and also improve the prospects for West Radford as a whole and the community as its entirety. We're also looking down the road at the wonderful recreational opportunities this property will provide to the city with an expansion of the Riverway and utilization of some of the property that can't be used for economic and commercial development. And so with that, council members, I will take a motion that we transfer the property known as the West Radford Commerce Park, also known as the Radford Foundry VCI property, to the Economic Development Authority, Ordinance 1798. Do we have a motion to do so?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Congratulations.
Yes.
You may not realize this, but this is a huge day in the history of the city, of this community. This is an economic driver. This is a wonderful piece that is an important part of our community's future and something we are going to continue to work on together with the EDA. More good things to come. Having heard 4 affirmative votes, we can dispense with a second reading if so desired. Council, is there a motion to do so?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Congratulations to us. Congratulations to the EDA. The citizens of Radford will benefit greatly from this property. Okay, council, we have appointments to boards and commissions we need to consider. I'd like to do what we did last time and go through and discuss any vacancies, any additional folks that are interested, and then be able to talk about the slate as a whole, if we may do that. We have several areas, the Recreation Commission, the New River Valley Community College position, one of those positions, the Agency on Aging, and the City University Joint Commission. Do we have I believe it is just our alternate for the Agency on Aging, correct? So do we have a nominee for the Agency on Aging alternate? If we do not, we will continue to bring that up as needed. For our Recreation Commission, I know we've had several people express interest. Catherine Katrupi, who has been our chair before, is interested in another term. We had a letter from Michael McCowan, who is interested in a first term, and also Bill Ratcliffe has reached out stating he was interested in a term as well. Council members, what's your pleasure for the Recreation Commission?
Well, I had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Ratcliffe, and he's been looking for an opportunity to get involved, so I would nominate Mr. Ratcliffe.
Yeah, I'm in a tough one. I'd reached out to Michael, not knowing, and he's got young kids.
He did me.
Talked with Jesse.
Yep.
Yeah, so I had reached out to Michael too and asked his interest. He's phenomenal, works at the high school and is very interested in youth sports too. So since I did reach out with him, I will nominate him as well.
Okay. Any additional nominees for the Recreation Commission? Do we make a motion that the nominations are closed? And we only have one position we can fill, correct, Jenny? Or do we have any other vacancies? Catherine, Michael, and Bill pick between the two for three for two positions. Gotcha.
I know Mr. Ratcliffe is interested in engaging at a higher level. What I would like to do, since we have 2 people that we know are specifically interested, I think I will speak with him and see if he'd be interested in Agency on the Aging.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's,
Okay. So then does it please council if we look at Catherine and Mike for the 2 rec commission positions? Sure. I'm getting a consensus on that. All right, I'm going to do all of this. Once we'll kind of get the slate together, and then we'll vote on it all at once, if that sounds good. For New River Community College, we do have Dr. Harshberger, who is interested in the vacant position, a former member of council, certainly engaged in so many ways. I don't know how in the world he will find the time, but I'm certain he would make it a priority. But I think he would be a great nominee for New River Community College. And do we have anyone else for the City University Joint Commission? I know Robert Towle is interested in another term, and Kelly, that's the commission you serve on. Do you have any suggestions or any additional folks for that?
I don't have any additional suggestions. I was just speaking with Jesse to see if Mr.
Ratcliffe, yep.
Ratcliffe would actually be interested. We need to have people that are going to be active and come to meetings, so I just want to wait and see what he would like to do, if he wanted to pick.
So hold on that commission for this time, then? Yes. Okay.
Reach out to him,
Thank
and I'll have him write a letter of intent.
Yes, that would be great.
So do we have a motion to move forward with Catherine and Michael for Rec Commission and Dr. Harshberger for New River Community College?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Jenny, did you get that? All right. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, council, under new business, we have been participating in the global lawsuit associated with the opioid epidemic. I just want folks to know that several years ago when we began looking at this, we really studied to look at the impact of the problem on the city of Radford. We talked with several potential avenues for pursuing these lawsuits and have chosen to move in the direction that we have. Opioid substance abuse has impacted costs associated with emergency response with our police, sheriff's office, fire and EMS, criminal justice, mental health, and agency services. Certainly a lot of what is on Jesse's plate as well when she works with Department of Social Services and CMPT and that whole group. City's legal counsel recommended the participation in settlements with the opioid providers by approved resolutions. Past settlements have included McKesson, Cardinal Health, Amerisource Bergen, Janssen Pharmaceuticals, Teva, Allergan, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and their related entities, which is a value of about $816,304 over an 18-year period to recover a portion, just a small portion of the public funds spent on the consequences of the opioid epidemic. An additional settlement occurred with Kroger Company. The city legal counsel has recommended a resolution to participate in a settlement that will recover $26,429 over a period of 11 years. Council members, do we have a motion to move forward with the resolution of accepting the Kroger settlement?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. David, I'm going to let you take the lead on this next one with the water plant with the chemical bids, because this is kind of a complicated piece where we are looking to address some things related to how we keep Radford's water the best in the New River Valley and the Commonwealth of Virginia. So, David, the floor is yours.
Sure, and my battery's dead on my thing, Jay.
Just press your button on your microphone and pull it real close.
Working either.
Pull it close to you.
I don't think it was working. I didn't say, is it?
Okay.
So there's several chemicals that go into the water plant to make our water the best that it can possibly be. One of the significant chemicals is the polyaluminum chloride. We bid that out each year because just the sheer cost of it. It's not one of the smaller chemicals. There are only a few suppliers out there that provide that. We received 3 bids, and we are recommending that you do award the bid to U.S. Alcoa. They had the best bid at 0.295 per liquid ounce pounds was what their cost was. It's about in keeping with what it was last year. We use about 118 tons of that chemical in the treatment of our water, and the cost is about $75,000. So anything over 50, we do council award on that. So that was a budgeted item, and we are recommending to move forward.
Counselor, are there any questions? Okay. So, Council, we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve the recommendation? So moved. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We do not need a second reading on that, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Council members, we have 6 appropriation ordinances to consider. What I'd like to do, if it pleases council, is to go through each of these, talk about it, answer any questions, and then just improve them en masse. So does that make sense, or are there any that are particularly standing out that you would rather approve separately? Okay. So appropriation ordinance 1787.30 are encumbrances or purchase orders that are outstanding at the end of the current budget year that we just finished. Purchase orders total $165,278 and relate to the electric department line construction, Tyler to East Main Capital Project, the East Main Street Sidewalk Capital Project, Radford Transit, and various small general fund departmental planned expenses to transfers. We are going to carry these funds over. These are encumbered funds that are used for these specific purposes and carry them into the fiscal year 2024-25 budget, and to do that, we need an appropriation. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns regarding ordinance 1787.30? We did discuss this a little bit in the work session that we held previously. This is money that's already been budgeted and planned. It's encumbered for these expenses and can't be used for something else. Moving on, appropriation ordinance 1802.01 for the police department. We've received a grant from Virginia 911 Services Board through the Virginia Department of Emergency Management, VDEM, for educational programming. The $4,000 grant will be used to pay for training-related costs for our 911 telecommunications officers related to emergency and GIS education. There is no local match, and I believe this grant, no, there's no local match, so we're good. Are there any questions or concerns regarding 1802.01? 1802.02 is another grant from the Virginia Department of Emergency Management in the amount of $5,000 to be used for data maintenance costs associated with GIS data layers necessary for next generation 911. No match is required for that as well. Any questions or comments regarding 1802.02? Once again, for the Police Department, 1802.03, Police Department grant in the amount of $90,306 from the Virginia Department of Criminal Justice Services. The funds are to be used to support the school resource program at Bell Heath Elementary. The funds are for a salary-related item. A local match of $14,973 is required and can be accommodated from the existing department budget. The funds weren't programmed in the development of the fiscal year budget, therefore requiring appropriation. Now, David, just to answer that question before it's asked, since the funds weren't programmed, this is not additional spending that we would be adding. This is just finding the $14,973 within the current police budget as planned, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Are there any other questions or comments regarding 1802.03? Appropriation Ordinance 1802.04, another grant for the Police Department in the amount of $211,411 from the Virginia Department of Criminal Justice Services. They're used to support the School Resource Officer Program at McCarg Elementary School and Dalton Intermediate School. The funds are for salary-related items for 2 school resource officers. A local match of $35,052 is required and can be accommodated from the existing departmental budget. Once again, the funds were not programmed in the development of the fiscal year 2024-25 budget, therefore requiring appropriation. Any questions, comments, or concerns related to 1802.04? Finally, Appropriation Ordinance 1802.05 for the Office of Elections. They've requested that $10,638 be appropriated for the purchase of electronic polling pads. The funds are available from the reimbursement to the city for the March 2024 presidential primary reimbursement from the Virginia Department of Elections. New polling pads are needed due to software issues related to reliability, service, and training. The Radford Electoral Board has approved the use of the funds for this purpose. So once again, these are funds coming from the Virginia Department of Elections. These are not locally generated, cannot be used for anything else, and have been approved by the Electoral Board, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions, concerns, or comments related to 1802.05? Do we have a motion to accept Ordinance 1787.3, 1802.01, 1802.02, 1802.03, 1802.04, and 1802.05? We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Having heard 4 affirmative votes, we can dispense with second readings on all those ordinances if so desired. Do we have a motion to do so? We have a motion. Do we have a second? A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. David, what do you have for us this evening?
It's been a very big last couple of weeks as we've gone into ended an old fiscal year and begun a new fiscal year. So Happy New Year to everybody as we begin FY25. One of the biggest events we put on is the July 4th celebration, and it had everything going on that day, from weather event to fire to power outage to cleanup, you just name it. So it was all there. But through the weather and through everything, a great event, well attended. Folks left for a little bit during the 2 storms that we passed over the area, but they did come back. We had great attendance for the music that evening. We only had a couple of performers and a couple of things that ended up ending a little earlier, were shortened on time. So many, many thanks to all of our public safety folks, to the Parks and Recreation that tirelessly work beginning today for next year, for Grucci for the fireworks performance that they did, Third Security for that donation of funds for that event, and everybody that just makes that event possible, for you all for coming out, and all the citizens for and visitors that we have. So great event. Everybody did a wonderful job. Also thanks tourism. We did sell some things down there during the course of the day, and Kim helped get the bands all together. So great job. Donna is really, really dialed into, and she's got it down well after all these years with what she does to get the vendors in, get the games, and on all the performance-related setups and things. So great job, all. We do thank you for everything that you've done for making July 4th a big event. Got another concert week after next. So that's going to be chairman of the board, another big event over on the Glencoe lawn. So everybody's invited out for that. Expect another big attendance. Hope the weather will hold up for it as well. Take advantage of all the many wonderful things in our community. They're doing a great job. River's full of folks that are kayaking and floating and that kind of thing. So Radford on the River is doing well. So please support that activity and spend some time here. Go to our library, go to our rec department, go to one of the games. A lot of really good events. Radford University's got several things going on. Governor's School currently. They have other events going on during the course of the summer, so that brings people to our community. So very, very active, and just thank everybody, and thank you to all of our staff for being there, coming out on holiday and taking care of electricity and taking care of a fire and taking care of all that we need when things go wrong, weather-related or whatever. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Seth, do you want to get us started?
Need a quick closed session for
to that in
real
just a minute.
property and
Yes, sir.
personnel.
Yes, sir. Seth, what do you have for us this evening?
Yeah, I'll just keep it brief and follow into thank you everybody for the 4th of July. I know that there were several occurrences throughout the day, and people were working on their holiday, and the rec department, the police department, I could go on. Pretty much every department within the city was involved, and thank you for putting on that event. Made it down there for a little bit and definitely got rained on, but it was good to see people out and about. And driving through the city, there were a ton of people on the sides of the roads watching the fireworks. It was a great display. Thought that it was, very well attended and did a good job. Just kind of tying into our meeting a little bit. I'm excited that we've transferred this property, the West Radford Commerce Park, to the EDA. That's going to be a linchpin of the future success for Radford. I know we've all said it many times in many different ways, but for it to be a job creator, an energy consumer, and a revenue generator is what we're all shooting for, and it could really be a game changer for this community. So I appreciate everyone's work getting us here and look forward to working with the EDA. I think that they will take the necessary steps to get it to a Tier 3. And, these things don't happen overnight, but every step that we take now is one step further that we are along the road to having this ready for development. So I'm excited to get to work on that. Thank you for everyone's time on our meeting that we had prior to this. Thank you, David, for getting us that information. And I think that we're really being very thorough in looking not only to get past these challenges, but long-term success for Radford. And You know, there'll be some things that we have to figure out, and I know that we'll do that. So just wanted to thank everybody for that, and congratulations to all the athletes that we were able to recognize today. Those are some awesome accomplishments, and I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Seth. Kelly, what do you have for us this evening?
I was trying to find the individual that posted the drone video of the fireworks, because it was
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't, is Adam maybe is his first name, but either way, you did a phenomenal job. I was trying to look through it and see, but I actually did not get to go actually see the fireworks this year, and I'm blaming my husband because he did not take me because the kids were not very in a great mood at that point in time. But I got to see them then because he posted that, so I really appreciate that. Congratulations to our new police officers and dispatchers. We really do have the best team there, and I know the additions that we have are just going to add to the stability and strength. And congratulations on your FBI agency trilogy award. That sounds like you guys worked really hard, and so definitely congratulations on that. Congratulations to all of the high school students for their winter and spring sports teams and individuals who got all those accomplishments. I love the fact that we're doing this and making it a recurring thing. I think it's great to make sure that we recognize everybody that works so hard doing that. I was at the park 4th of July for that wonderful storm that Mother Nature gave us, but we persevered despite weather and clearance issues and traffic and trees down and electrical things. So again, tribute to, you know, all of our amazing departments that come out and make sure that we get back up and running quickly. And I was thankful that people came back out again to see the bands, because they actually were amazing per usual. And thank you to the businesses that, you know, didn't take the day off and close, that stayed, you know, working and open so patrons could come to Radford and enjoy eating and drinking and hanging out. I know that I saw several comments that Long Way was one of the best places to watch the fireworks if you weren't down at the park. So congratulations for them to having a great event, as they always do. I have a Joint Commission meeting tomorrow, so it's always the day after a council meeting. So we have one. I can't really talk about it, but we're excited to do that. We had a good amphitheater meeting that was great, moving forward with those good talks. And Community Fest is August 24th, so everybody mark your calendars for that. I think earlier that morning is a Harry Potter 3K. Yes, I'm very excited about that. My daughter and I are both Potterheads, if you call that. So excited about that. So, and then the concert series is always a great time. So, and thank you to the sponsors that did help with that. I think Jesse has a very good point. Sponsors, volunteers, sometimes they don't know how they can help. So getting the word out for that is definitely something that's good. So that's all I got. Thank you guys for the presentation earlier and the presentation before and the one to come. I know you guys are working hard, and I appreciate seeing all of our individual little questions that we have. So thanks for that.
Thank you, Kelly. Bobby, what do you have for us this evening?
Yes, likewise, the concert was incredible. I felt bad for the city. I mean, it was like one thing after another going on between the storms and coming and going, and everybody trying to figure out what was going on, and people leaving and coming back. But anyway, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Me and my wife appreciate everything that Kim Repass did regarding the concerts, and I know she worked a long day and everything she's doing also for the the Foundry property. I appreciate all that, and the staff, everybody that's helping her. I appreciate that also. Likewise, like what everybody said as far as all these kids that come in here, and I know I should be saying kids, but to me they're kids. But I was very impressed with the boys and girls that came in here, and I couldn't be more impressed, to be honest. And I'm excited about everything they're achieving, and I think these young people will turn out very well, and I wish them nothing but the best as far as I believe they have a very bright future. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. Jesse, what do you have for us?
Well, I'm going to give a little follow-up on one of the things that Kelly mentioned. I am on the chamber board, and she was talking about the collaborative effort between the city and RU. So one of the things that the chamber is looking at is you need to be a nonprofit to pull a license to serve alcohol. Well, there's been some changes in the law. Delegate Ballard was very much a part of that. So I have had contact with his office because I did try to read the legislation, but I did not understand much of it. Apparently, there's a lot of confusion because his office did reach out to the Virginia tourism folks as well as the Division of Legislative Services attorney, and it's clear as mud, as we say in the Midwest, and so he's going to do a little bit further investigating because we're wanting to see if it's something that a nonprofit does absolutely have to now still sponsor. There's an opportunity maybe that this law has changed those parameters. I'll keep you posted on that. We really are not sure exactly how that, or if it will impact those events. Very exciting news about our ACE program. I love to share our success. I will tell you, these young men that have been they come to my mother's house as well as my house for some air concerns, and both of them were graduates from the ACE program. They went to the community college, and I acted like any proud mother would. I made them do a selfie with me and told them how proud I was and gushed. But, you know, this is the ACE program in action. And to be able to speak one-on-one with them and hear the impact it's had on their lives is really moving. So that program is doing exactly as we intended. Quick update on boards and commissions. As Kelly mentioned, we're on the amphitheater committee. We're at the phase now to see, now that there's some isolated funds from the university for the build. They've identified a location. We're actually going to the next phase, which is to see what types of buildings would actually be facilitated on that property, where it's situated and direction. So we'll get back with you. We're just kind of in the preliminary stages, but we have moved it to that next level of planning. At our chamber meeting, I told them I would share a few ribbon cuttings. July 16th, it's CareerWorks. July 17th, Atlantic Bay Mortgage. July 26th, as we mentioned, is the concert at Glencoe. And July 31st, there's ribbon cutting for Sage Health, which is a new internal medicine office, so that's exciting. Also, Casino Night, November 2nd. If you haven't marked your calendars, please do. An update on one of the local events. There's a member on the chamber board from the Highlander, and you probably have all noticed that they were doing a locals night, and that was the first round, but it was such a success. The last number I heard, and she thought there actually could have been more, but the last number that was confirmed for locals was 280 people. And so as her and I were speaking, this is in the summer, but just think of the opportunity in the winter. You know, we're all going to be, you know, staying at the Highlander. I'll see you all there. So very exciting about that. July 26th through the 29th is the Mary Draper weekend, and they wanted me to make sure on the Heritage Foundation board that I got that message out. We're looking forward to seeing everyone for that. Firehouse, as the city manager and David has been involved, we're just kind of going through and assessing some of the repairs that need done, and we're going to be following up on that. There's some vehicles that need some maintenance, so we'll keep a close eye and make those repairs as needed. I don't like to brag, but I feel like I've got to show off a little bit. I did participate in the Pulaski 19th celebration, and it was a cornbread eating contest.
Juneteenth?
Mm-hmm. For the, what'd I say?
19th,
Oh,
that's okay.
This gentleman, what would I do without him? Yes, sorry, I can't read my own writing. So here is the trophy that I received, and you guys may want to put it on display somewhere.
I think we should.
Councilperson of Cornbread Crumbs. So if you need to display that somewhere, I totally understand, and I will relinquish it from my possession. American Legion update. A good portion of the pictures are now with the Heritage Foundation that were in the basement being restored, and our electrician is officially retired from Virginia Tech and is starting work on the Legion, he said, as early as this month. I think all of us attended the retirement recognition for employees of the city, and just thank you for all of those employees that have spent really a larger part of their lives with us, making the city what it is today. Thank you for that. And then the last thing, I know that Nesselrod is now under new management, and so I want everyone to be looking for events. They're looking at investing further in their venue, so they're wanting to collaborate with the city, other businesses, and the community at large. So that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Great things are happening in the city of Radford, as you've heard from all of us, as you saw during the meeting this evening. I do want to add my thanks to our police department for all their hard work. The LEDA Trilogy Award is a significant accomplishment. We are so proud of you, Chief, and your entire staff and the entire team going back for the last few years, because this has been a priority to move us forward. The best training, the best practices keep us with the best agency we can possibly have, and it serves our citizens and our entire region very, very well. So thank you and congratulations. It's really exciting. All of our Bobcats make us proud, and it's nice to be able to recognize them for their work in and around the classroom, with their co-curricular and extracurricular activities, and certainly on the athletic field. You know, Radford's typically one of the smaller schools that competes against some of its peers and does exceptionally well all the time. And these Bobcats are making us proud, and they provide for a great future for the city. The West Radford Commerce Park has been a long time coming. It's more glacial than we wish it was, but certainly that pace is picking up now that we've been able to transfer it to the EDA and move it forward. This is a big part of the future for West Radford and for the community at large. We're really excited to try to make things happen faster there and to improve things for the city of Radford. And I say all that because, you know, we are having some challenging times that we're working through with some cash flow and some budgetary issues. And David, I just want to say to you and Callista and the entire staff, thank you for the extra work and all the hard work to try to get us to this point, to where we're able to do this. A lot of this is helping to get into the weeds and understand this at a greater level, to cut through what's fiction and what's fact, and to really understand the truth about where we are with our community. We're working incredibly hard. All of us are spending long hours going through stacks and stacks of documents and trying to make sure that there's no question that's unasked or unanswered, and that there's nothing that's left on the table that would be an easy fix for this. Radford is an independent city. Virginia has a unique situation where independent cities have the challenges of a county with some of the limitations of a town in many ways, and that puts us in a very interesting spot. Now, I think it allows us to be the very best we could possibly be, but with that, it does bring challenges we have to address from an administrative place, from an elected official place, and from a citizenry place. So we're all working on those things, and we're going to continue. So July 29th, there will be another work session at 5:15 right here in council chambers, and we'll be talking through a lot of that. August the 24th, Kelly mentioned it, Potter in the Park, and I think this is the 6th year we've done this down there. The Tri-Wizard Tri-Mile Tournament is a 5K race to raise money for literacy volunteers of the New River Valley. Our citizens here in Radford benefit tremendously from their services. So if you can participate in the race, sign up. If you sign up before August 1st, you get your t-shirt, which is, you want to have the t-shirt. And I encourage all of you to come on down and join me. Now, the good news is we don't have Renew the New on the same day. Renew the New is going to be a couple weeks later. In August, I'm hoping I can get you a full report on what's going to happen with the river cleanup. It has usually been the same day. It's not. So now you can do both more easily in August and September, and that should be a positive. Then, of course, our Community Fest. So thankful for everybody that's working on that. That looks to be a tremendous hit to introduce our newest residents to downtown Radford, to give our businesses and a lot of our folks a chance to shine. It's going to be an exciting event on the 24th. 2 concerts coming up in July and August with Chairman of the Board and Cassette Rewind. Be sure to mark your calendars for both of those on the 20th and 17th, respectively. Then, finally, I'll just say, continue to be a part of the efforts here in Radford. It really is important. And I just do want to say thank you again to David Ridpath for all the hard work that you're doing to try to manage this. David was down there in the middle of everything on the 4th of July, making sure messages got to whomever needed to, answering questions, and along with all the other staff that was working so hard to make sure we had the wonderful event that we had, the biggest and best fireworks in the New River Valley, and just a tremendous celebration of all these freedoms that we hold dear here in the city of Radford. That's all I have this evening. I am going to make a motion that we convene a closed meeting for the purposes of discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of specific public officers, appointees, or employees of any public body, and evaluation or performance of public departments under Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A. Number 1, and also discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for public purpose or the disposition of publicly held real property where the discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body, 2.2-3711A3. We have a motion. Do we have a second to go to closed session?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you all so much. We're going to take a few minutes for closed session, and we'll open things back up. You're more than welcome to wait. We'll see you soon.